The Zone Coverage Podcast Network.
The Andy, Luke, and Arif football machine.
Autobots, transform! I like this kind of party!
Straight cash, homie.
Starts now.
Welcome back to Thunderdome for another Zone Coverage Football Machine, Zone Coverage Podcast Network. I'm your not so humble host, Andy Carlson, that Andy Carlson Show on the Tour Machine, and I have equity, more equity than wide receiver Joe Flacco.
Hey.
More equity than the football machine not getting invited to the Vikings Media Golf Tournament.
That's rough.
There's a Vikings Media Golf
Can you
Tournament?
bomb it, Andy? Do you got that big drive?
All right, so I haven't golfed in like 5 years, except for last weekend at the bachelor party.
Yeah.
Swing's pretty right.
Yeah,
It's all right.
you did all right?
Yeah.
Did you go all irons? Just keep it simple.
No, but I did do like the old man 3/4 swing, just
Yeah,
straight down the
yeah.
middle, 200.
You're better
good.
than Charles, so you're good.
Yeah. Yeah, but all right, so here's everyone who's there, so not us. Ryan Servio.
Who is that?
Well, there's a mix of like Vikings personnel people and media, so I'll just go through names I recognize. So Larry Fitzgerald. Hey.
Hey.
Papa Larry.
We don't know if it's junior or senior. We
Okay.
have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Dave Schwartz, Care 11. What's up? Jim Rich, Fox 9. Yeah.
Yep.
Hobie, Fox 9.
Yep.
Chris Long. Not the woke DN, the other one.
Yeah, right.
The one who might still be drunk because the Caps won.
Chris Long is the man. Should be coming on Giles and the goalie.
Oh, yeah?
Hey.
Yeah,
Cool.
again.
There you go. Mark Craig, avid golfer, Star Tribune, Gessling, Kramer, Chris Miller, Pioneer Press.
Chris Miller is the Star Tribune.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I had a 50-50 shot.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yoder, Rob Brzezinski.
All right.
I bet he's very calculated. I bet he has one of those rangefinder things that looks like, like
He's going to
big
shoot a
binoculars.
duck. Yeah.
Let's see, Brian Murphy, Chad Graff, Joe Oberle, Chris Corso, Eric Smith, Brandon Molesky, Common, Greg Coleman, Justin Gard, Ekstrom, John Ekstrom. I thought we got in.
Dang.
And Pete Bursich. Cool. Surprised PA didn't golf. I suppose he got the radio show.
Yeah.
Do you think Paul Allen golfs?
I would think so.
I would imagine, yeah.
I don't know. I don't see him as a golfer.
What if he plays like polo?
Or
What?
Class.
like water polo?
Horses.
Not water polo.
Yeah, horses.
Yeah.
That's dumb, Tom.
That was a bad take.
I bet you he has like a weird hobby. Like he doesn't like shooting pool or billiards, but he loves snooker.
Yeah.
I bet I could see something like that.
Yeah.
Just like some niche hobby.
It's very weird. It's like you guys ever seen 30 Rock?
Yes.
Where Jack was up for the the GE chairmanship, except he hired a private investigator to investigate him. So it was Steve Buscemi, and he's like, Jack, you wouldn't happen to have 10,000 cookie jars in a storage unit in Secaucus, would you? Jack, you have to get rid of the cookie jars. They never give the big job to the guy with the weird hobby.
That's good. That's funny.
That's good.
That was good. Well, that is all. That was hour 2. Subscribe to... No, fine. Joining me is Arif and Tom working the board. No Yinka this week. He's got class. Have we decided what class it is?
No.
I mean, we made up a bunch of things. It's probably a voice acting class. Follow your dreams, Yinka.
Yeah. Or what if it's improv?
He comes back just cracking jokes.
Wait, he's going to actually be funny, you think?
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
No, he's going to be good at keeping the conversation up. He'd be like, yes, and... and then Luke is on
Need
the
a color, need a color. Great, now I need a food item.
Your mom's turning her. Now, with Luke, he's out camping. I didn't know that Luke was that big of a camper.
I did not.
It kind of follows, though, right? Like, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, but it makes sense.
He just drove 30 minutes south, and he was like, I'm good.
Yeah.
It's adventure.
But we saw the picture. Like, he's got, like, legit hiking boots that look like they've been used before and, like a decent backpack. So maybe.
I can see it.
Yeah.
There's so much about Luke's life we don't know.
His hair's still fine.
Yeah. I've never seen him without a hat.
That's a good question. But
His wedding.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Still sunburned, though. Yeah, I like that. All right, so list hour one, we talked about a little bit of Vikings OT, our mandatory mini camp, and then we got a 6-week break of nothing to talk about, so we'll talk about like 30 for 30s. What's the one that's just coming out? Replacement players.
Yeah,
the scabs. I'm looking forward to that one. Did you see the Washington
Yeah, they
scab player
got
just
him
got
rings.
rings?
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, no, one of them did an interview, I think, on OTL, and he was like, look, it's not like I was trying to screw the union. I just love football and wanted a job. And so,
Well, yeah, I mean, scabs usually are not trying to screw you.
Yeah.
Like, that's
But
not,
he just like how they were kind of seen or treated or whatever.
I totally get it. I mean,
You know-
like if I'm picking a side, it's the union side.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
like,
A handful went on to get jobs, right? In the NFL? I'm sure that's...
A couple of them.
very small.
Yeah.
But like, Sean Payton, quarterback in the Bears.
Yeah, baby.
2 years removed from being the 85 Bears, and you're replacing the punky QB, Jim McMahon.
So this is the 87 season?
Yes.
Because 91, I think Washington won here, didn't they? In the Metrodome?
It's possible. Like, I know
Yes.
that the replacement players beat the Cowboys, and the Cowboys were essentially at full strength, which I think is funny.
It's embarrassing.
I mean, Washington, I guess, went all out to get those guys.
Yeah, that's what
That's
the movie
true.
The
Yeah.
Replacements
Yeah.
was based off of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that is all. So hour two, open up, talking a little bit of sports movies. Speaking of movie action, so put out to you guys favorite movie in each sport: football, basketball, baseball, hockey, boxing, golf, auto racing, and martial arts. But before we get to categories, like overall favorite sports movie of all time.
I mean, that's just tough. I don't like. We were talking about this a little off air. I don't really like that many sports movies. They all feel like. I like the breakdowns more. Like I like it when Dodgeball makes fun of sports movies more than I like the movies themselves.
The comebacks or whatever.
Yeah, they all feel like all of the tension has been kind of removed from.
I'm going to go
what
Space
you're
Jam.
watching.
Space Jam.
Space Jam was good.
Yeah.
I bet that doesn't really hold up to rewatch, but from what I remember, it was
rewatched
great.
in college, and it was fun.
Yeah?
But it was nostalgic.
Yeah, okay.
Also, I didn't realize as a kid, but Bill Murray wearing the St. Paul Saints hat.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
up?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No
that was
big
cool.
deal.
In the huddle, in a key moment. Yeah.
Yeah. So which Jordans was Jordan wearing? Because he's wearing like the black on black 11s, I think.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Was
I
he?
can't remember.
Pretty sure.
Sure.
Yeah, and then Kirk Cousins thinks he's cool rolling up with the 11s cleats. Is like, we know Kirk. Yeah.
Kirk.
Yeah, that is all. All right, so breaking down each individual sport, football. What we got there?
I guess Remember the Titans is up there.
Yep.
That was mine.
That one's good.
If you look at the cast, Ryan Gosling, Hayden Panettiere.
Yeah, because he
Oh,
can't.
that's right, Hayden.
He can't cover for.
That's
Turner.
right.
Yeah. No, but God,
She was the most knowledgeable person in that movie.
It's true. I'm trying to look, but yeah, they had a lot of good. Denzel.
Yeah, so that's probably up there. I guess Any Given Sunday.
Yeah.
That one's
Yeah,
actually really good.
I still love that Lawrence Taylor plays Lawrence Taylor.
I'm gonna Rudy. I would vote for with my obvious allegiance there.
Gross.
It's literally limited.
Disgusting.
I think to people.
No,
that
Joe
like
Montana completely shat on that.
Is that right?
Yeah, he was on like Dan Patrick like 3 years ago.
That's
He's
funny.
like,
And the
Rudy never
coach
happened.
wasn't an asshole at all.
Yeah, Dan Devine wanted Rudy. To
Yeah,
trash.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah, right.
Hey, it's a movie.
I don't know why they trash his legacy like that.
Well, I mean, you can't just say, hey, it's a movie. They used real people
Yeah.
and made real people the villains.
It's true. It's not good.
Yeah.
Hey, it's just a movie.
Well, see, that's what bugs me about movies sometimes, based on like real life events where they'll completely distort a character. They're
Lou
like, oh,
Nanny. Miracle is a good movie. Lou Nanny gets kind of the short end of the stick.
the steakhouse guy. That's closed.
Yeah.
For me, Any Given Sunday. I mean, come on, Willie freaking Steeman Beeman. I mean, come on.
Paterno,
Dick
the
Buck-
HBO movie.
Dick Butkus coaches the LA team.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you remember Dick Butkus on Hang Time?
No.
A Saturday morning, like NBC, like young adult show of Indiana high school basketball team. Some of the later years, Dick Butkus was the coach.
Huh.
Yeah.
No.
Not a movie, but a general sports thing that doesn't fit into these categories. Do you ever see Sports Night?
Yeah.
I love sports.
Yeah, I
Night.
loved it.
Holy crap.
Josh
it. Very
Charles,
well
Peter, whatever, Felicity Huffman.
Who's the guy? Sports Night is the one where, like, I think it was one of the first 3 episodes where the guy gets the job, and one of the first things they ask him to put together a highlight reel that's supposed to be like 30 seconds long of a game,
Yeah.
and it's like 17 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? He's like, well, it doesn't make I can't just show the home run. You got to show everything leading the interplay between.
yeah.
It's so good.
It's such a good movie. Or not a good movie, a good show.
That's also an Aaron Sorkin joint, right?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Those are one of the early works.
Yeah.
Favorite basketball movie of all time?
Space
Basketball.
Jam. That's not bad.
I
Airbus.
also have a stupid Eddie.
I don't remember Eddie.
Whoopi Goldberg, she's a fan of the Knicks, and she gets the opportunity to coach the Knicks.
Oh, man.
Like,
That's
there's
actually probably an upgrade for almost every era of the Knicks.
No, there's so
yes. Yes.
there's
She should
tons
be
of
the owner.
There's tons of cameos. Like Malik Sealy sort of plays the antagonist.
What?
Yeah, R.I.P.
Oh,
boy.
wow. That's such a good deep cut.
No, he played the two guard who wasn't having any of Eddie's coaching. Stacey Patton.
Wow.
Stacey Patton ain't playing for no woman.
Wow.
Yeah. Also, John Sally was in there. John Fox, Dwayne Shiznitz. It was great. Like the bad guys in the movie are the Charlotte Hornets with Larry Johnson.
That's great.
Well, that's
Yeah.
believable.
Yeah, the movie ends with Dwayne Shiznitz taking a charge from Larry Johnson.
Really?
Spoiler, sorry.
Where do you guys stand on Hoosiers?
Eh.
I kind of like it, but
I mean, like, Hoosiers is, like, fine as a movie, but, like, it doesn't stand up to any critical thought at all. Like,
Very,
if you just
very fair.
absorb it as a movie, it's actually all right. But then you're like, this kid hasn't missed a shot all movie.
yeah, who ran the stats for it? Was it Bill Simmons?
Yeah,
or
Bill
something?
Simmons ran the stats. Yeah, I think it was one of his page 2 columns on ESPN, too.
Yeah.
But, like, even before I stumbled across that Bill Simmons article, like, why don't they just give the ball to him? Like, they're like, pass it 3 times before you shoot. And it's like, this kid is like 100% from 3. Just let him do the thing.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like a lot of classic sports movies just really don't hold up. Like The Natural. I know that everyone loves The Natural, but it's
Yeah.
like this movie is dumb.
Yeah, it's because I think it was a good book, and probably one generation actually read the book.
That's Robert Redford, right?
Yeah.
That probably helps its legacy, too, that it's Robert
Yeah.
Redford.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll say this about Hoosiers. Apparently, that school was a powerhouse. Like,
Yeah. Oh, really?
this underdog story didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Also, it's like vaguely racist.
Yeah. It was South Bend, actually. I think the high school. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh, that's
Not great.
uncomfortable.
Well, it's sort of like Remember the Titans, where they merged like the 3 biggest high schools in Alexandria, I think it was.
Oh,
and
right. And they were amazing.
They became a super team because, it's an all-star team, essentially.
Right, yeah.
Like they won the state title not on a reverse by Jerry with the broken arm. No, they beat the piss out of the other team by like 28 points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the coin still falls.
What's your stance on Friday Night Lights, the movie?
I don't think I watched
Yeah, I
it.
don't think I did either.
But the first episode of the show was phenomenal. It kind of goes downhill from there.
Yeah.
Swing it downhill. So baseball movies. I got Major
baseball
League.
movie.
Yeah, Major League.
Yeah.
If you want like a
What, not Angels in the outfield?
no, but what was the Little Big League? I think
I
the
love
guy-
Little Big League just
Oh,
because
yeah,
of the
yeah.
provincial bias. Yeah.
Yeah, but Major League is really solid. Although baseball is going to get a lot
No,
of fans.
it still bugs me. I think I've actually brought this up before, but
What about A League of Their Own? That one's good.
that was good too. Yeah. So in Little Big League, Billy's like, hey, like Mac, the bench coach is like, hey, you want to meet Reggie Jackson? Yeah, we're going to Houlihan's. Let's go get a burger the size of your head. Except Houlihan's is in Egan, so why are they going from the Dome to Egan?
Don't
Why?
worry about
It's
it,
a good
man.
cut.
Have you mapped out the Mighty Ducks rollerblade
Yeah.
route? It makes no sense. Just don't think about it.
One of the best integrations into a show of sports would be Cheers. Baseball player,
Yeah.
coach. I
no.
guess that's very baseball heavy.
Don't take out Hang on Mr. Cooper like that. The Warriors before they were cool, even before Baron Davis Warriors.
Wow.
Yeah. Hockey, I think we know.
Miracle
So
for you?
you picked
No, I haven't seen Miracle.
you picked D2
Yeah.
over D1 and obviously
Yeah.
D3. No one would pick D3.
Yeah.
Which was like
Slapshot is my choice. Have you guys seen Slapshot?
77, I think, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But really phenomenal movie.
I've not seen Slapshot or Miracle, so I think I have to leave this state.
You have to see
move to
Miracle.
like Nebraska or something.
Although Miracle's very Disneyfied. Slapshot's so funny.
Again,
Yeah.
I remember that.
So why 2 over 1?
I just like 2 because they add the new characters and they don't have like the dumpy starting off point where I feel bad for those kids.
I think I like 2 more, although I don't know if that's the reason.
Yeah. Because also, how did Trinidad and Tobago have a hockey team? That's what I want to know.
That was great. And then they would play the steel drums?
Yeah.
Oh, like, why?
Yeah. Plus, also, memories as a kid that sort of imprint. So my parents, like one of the first times I was left alone at the house, so I was whatever age, right? And they're like, all right, so we had the D2, the Mighty Ducks set out on VHS. So pop that in. Also, we got you the king size Reese's peanut butter cups in the fridge. So you enjoy that at some point. So I just remember watching the movie. Like, should I go get the Reese's now or should I wait? I think I'll wait.
That's amazing. It's great.
It's tough. Having willpower as a kid. Sugar.
Tough.
It's amazing. Boxing. Favorite boxing movie of all time.
I don't really watch boxing movies.
Rocky.
Yeah.
I mean, I think just straight up, but was The Fighter? Do I remember that being good?
With Christian Bale and Wahlberg.
I feel like I like that movie.
Yeah. I almost went Creed.
What's the one that Clint Eastwood directed?
$1 Million Baby.
That's it. That was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. Feel good movie. I also went Creed. Actually, might change the Creed, but Rocky 4 is still. I mean, come on.
Yeah, Rocky
Yeah.
4.
Rocky ended the Cold War.
Rocky 4,
Really
one of the
important.
only 3 Rocky movies.
Yeah. Well, which ones do you take out? Because I know people like 2. I just think 2 is kind of. Meh.
I'm probably taking out 2,
Take out 5 for sure.
I can't
5, and
remember
6.
Yeah.
as well as you guys do.
I don't know. 6 is pretty good though.
You think?
Compared to 5, it was a Roman Polanski film, minus the.
I get what you're saying.
But no, speaking of fighting video games, like that's the whole premise of the movie. It's like, well, we have Rocky fighting the heavyweight champion against this video game, and now people are talking. Let's see the fight,
I like that.
and then it went down
God.
because that's how it goes.
Well, let's see it.
Because that's where boxing is, essentially. Yeah, golf.
So Happy Gilmore, but Caddyshack's up there for me too.
Caddyshack's up there. I'm probably also picking Happy Gilmore.
Yeah. Caddyshack's
Although-
so funny.
Happy Gilmore, to me, personally, doesn't stand up to rewatch.
Where Caddyshack does, but you realize like that's an era where they really drag things out. Like they don't
Yeah.
kind of hit you. Yeah, Caddyshack might be my number 1.
Happy Gilmore, it's like, oh, I actually am super uncomfortable with half of these jokes.
Yeah. Yeah. I only remember the
But that's me becoming like a pansy leftist, whatever.
Well, you don't want no breakfast.
Right.
Which is funny, the older movie is actually better.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, based off of
Caddyshack's my
based
choice.
off of like my nostalgia and memories, Happy Gilmore. Loved that when it came out.
So
Is that the same? What's the Back to School?
Billy Madison.
Billy
Billy
Madison.
Madison.
Yeah.
Billy Madison the same? Would we look at that and be like, oh man, those jokes are bad.
Yeah, but probably not as much.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's the same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
So
So golf movies, Legend of Bagger Vance. Never saw it, but
that one was overrated because it had
Yeah.
like a somber tone.
well, it's weird because that book was written by one of my favorite authors, Stephen Pressfield, and it's like so out of left field because his main things are Gates of Fire about like the 300 Spartans, killing Rommel and like the Afghan campaign, like Alexander the Great trying to invade Afghan, losing. Because the Afghans always win, and then like Legend of Bagger Vance. No big. It's like how M. Night Shyamalan wrote Stuart Little.
Really?
Sorry, what?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. Look it up.
Jeez.
It's like they need a break.
I
It was
thought,
like-
yeah, that's fair. I thought Unbreakable was M. Night Shyamalan's weird movie. Although I didn't really think of the twist as the twist because they had forecast it. So like that one was one where they like with the reveal at the end. They foreshadow, I think, throughout most of the movie, whereas M. Night Shyamalan doesn't tend to foreshadow a lot of things outside of The Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
So I thought Unbreakable was like a departure for him, but I mean, if he wrote Stuart Little, never mind.
If I'm Bruce Willis, like I know I faked that injury to quit college football to be with my lady, but why not just be the greatest running back of all time? Just screw it.
Well, he didn't know he was like literally unbreakable. Like, if he knew that, wouldn't he just tell his wife, like, look, I'm definitely getting a job in the NFL?
So I'm playing till 40 and settle down, Adrian Peterson.
Like, no one can stop him.
Yeah. All right, 2 left. Auto racing.
Talladega Nights. Ricky Bobby. Woo.
Yeah, nah.
The greatest movie of all time. No.
Cars 3.
Nay.
Cars 3.
In the future as well. Driven.
Cars was okay, actually.
Cars is pretty good.
Starring
Oh,
Sylvester
yeah. Oh.
Stallone and the guy who plays Sunshine from Remember the Titans.
Ryan Gosling. Actually, I've heard really good things about that movie.
It's good.
Yeah, I should watch that.
It's good for what it is.
I think the caller's on board here.
Yeah. Hey, caller, who we got?
You got AJ from Lincoln.
AJ, what's going on? AJ, what's your favorite sports movie of all time? Please say Driven.
Miracle.
Hey.
Yeah, solid.
No, that's ironic because I said I've never seen Miracle, so I they're going to kick me out of the state and I have to move to Nebraska. And then AJ from Lincoln calls. It says his favorite movie is Miracle.
I went to an IHOP
yeah,
in
you
Lincoln
can't even
once.
you can't
Earth
even go
is
to
flat.
Nebraska now. IHOB.
And now it's IHOP. That
Yeah.
sucks.
It's so...
Another one which is I really, really like, I think a contender for close second is Greatest Game Ever Played. I know it's golf, so not everybody's into it, but it's a pretty interesting movie.
We were struggling with, so we're doing it sport by sport. We were struggling with golf movies. So
Caddyshack.
I mean, obviously Caddyshack, but like, I should
serious
check
golf
that out.
movies.
I should check
It's
that
the
out.
greatest game.
Yeah.
Is that the one with Shia LaBeouf
Yeah, he's actually really good in it.
before he went nuts?
He's always been like a good actor
Yeah.
who's just been in a bunch of bad movies. So
Transformers.
yeah, like 8 of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. AJ, what's on your mind now, man?
Okay, I don't have a football-related question.
That's
Can
fine.
I just go for
That's
it?
the off season.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, so you're walking down the street in downtown Minneapolis, or in a Reeves case, uptown, and some guy comes up to you with a weapon, and he goes, I'm gonna hurt you and your family unless you can beat me at any video game of your choice. What video game do you pick and why?
StarCraft.
Interesting.
At least my family
well,
gets to live
what
half an hour
console
longer.
game? What console game do you pick?
Hey, they had StarCraft in the N64. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it was a garbage fire.
Oh, it's yeah.
Not console, but PC. I'll go Counter-Strike because I will pwn him.
I don't know if there's a console game that I
used to be
feel
re-
super
I
confident
used to be
in.
really good at Mortal.
Yeah,
I wonder if it'd come back.
I don't know
Or
if I could.
Jam.
I don't know if I could take a complete stranger and smash, especially if they had the confidence to be like, pick a video game.
Yeah.
Man,
Jam. I feel like I'd do Jam or Mortal. Freaking Jam.
Is Mortal Kombat 2 on the nose?
yeah, it might be.
Yeah.
I probably have to go. I'd probably have to go retro and just hope that his skills have atrophied in the same way mine has,
Space
and also
Invaders?
go with like.
I
Mortal
thought you
Kombat.
said Star Fox at first. I was like,
Or no,
Star Fox multiplayer?
That Atari stupid
wow.
tank game. I can still hear it.
That's good. Oh, I just go with Pong and just like hope that the dice rolled my way. Essentially, the randomness of Pong would help me out.
Yeah.
There you go.
What's your choice?
I was going to say Mario Kart.
Mario Kart?
That's good.
Hey.
That's good.
Can you do all the cheats like jump on Rainbow Road and
Oh, yeah.
Wario
Oh,
do the Wario jump? Yeah. I mean, you'd have a chance there.
Yeah.
I recently played. Was it Crash Bandicoot Racing at your
Yeah.
place? Yeah. It turns out I suck.
No.
so-
Diddy Kong Race.
Oh, Diddy Kong Racing.
Yeah.
It turns out I suck at everything but the plane stuff. So I guess I'm actually not good at those N64 style
that's
racing
Sega.
games.
Sega is like that too. You go from a car to a plane. The Sega All Star Racing. Would not risk my life on that, however.
Right. Yeah. And so I found out that I'm actually quite bad at these N64 type racing games. So I probably shouldn't choose that.
Would you risk playing Battle in Mario Kart? 3 balloons,
That one's fun.
Yeah.
That's like the best
the
mode.
skyscraper.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I rephrase that question? I have a better one.
Sure.
Okay. The guy says the video game, but then he rephrases and he goes, or
Or
Knife fight.
3 pounds of any food you want.
Oh.
3 pounds of any. What could you eat 3 pounds of in, let's say, 15 minutes?
Burrito. I think I could do
Wait,
it.
am I competing against this dude to eat the most, or just to finish 3 pounds of food in 15 minutes?
You have to successfully finish. Just if you're race against the time, the clock.
Within 3 minutes.
For my family, I'd pick the blandest, most edible thing possible.
I'm convinced I can eat a 3-pound burrito in 3 minutes.
Oh,
I believe you.
Yeah.
Something that would relatively light that would sit well. A pick like salmon or halibut, like a dense fish.
I love this.
That's good.
I love
That's
that.
really smart. Yeah,
Salmon. I could do the salmon.
I could do salmon.
Yeah,
I was gonna pick tofu because it's tasteless.
yeah,
You
You
can
get
make
sick
it
of
pretty
it.
dense.
yeah.
I think I could eat 3 pounds. I mean, or the rules are that I can't throw up afterwards.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, the tofu is easy.
Yeah.
It's for my family.
Okay.
Man.
Is that easier? Is that easier than you just want something protein dense? I guess.
Well, I mean,
Right.
Well,
salmon is just a dense food in general. So I guess
Salmon's such a good call.
yeah. Also, pretty high fat content. Also, no carb, so you're not gonna be essentially full. It's gonna be more of a volume thing.
yeah.
Just rice.
Okay.
Pounds of rice.
Would that? So it wouldn't.
That'd be awful.
easier than meat, right?
It
Like
depends.
3 pounds. Like 3 pounds
It would
of like.
be
I-
tough
like,
for me to do 3
ribs.
pounds of chicken. I could probably
Barbacoa.
I could probably get
Yeah.
pretty far 3 pounds into steak, but I'd probably give
But
up
see,
before
with
the
steak,
3
you have to
pound
think
mark.
about chewing.
Yeah, barbacoa.
Oh yeah,
I
you've
like
got the
that.
time
Barbacoa
limit. I didn't even
is
think about
good
the
play.
time limit. Yeah, the problem with a lot of meats has to be the time limit and the chewing.
Yeah, so you can like almost slightly undercook the salmon or make it like a medium rare, and then just go to town on it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it falls apart.
yeah. So there you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Can't beat
Good
that.
to know.
Yeah. Also,
Cool.
you can braise it so that way there's not even like a cooked bark on it, so you can just like shotgun
Just
it.
Oh, God
just all
damn.
in one go.
It's too much.
Gelatinous. AJ, appreciate your call, man.
Yeah. Hey, quickly, Andy, you seem like you really frequent the grill. Have you ever got like food poisoning or anything from undercooking your meat? Has that ever happened?
Trying to. I have never had issues. Yeah.
Cool.
I've actually never had
Well,
like
good to know.
food poisoning in general. Whereas I don't know if I'm just run lucky or maybe I'm
It's because you don't travel, man.
maybe I'm Bruce Willis in Unbreakable.
You
Yeah.
might be.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, have a good one.
Yeah. See
You
ya,
too,
Jay.
man.
All right. Last but not least, martial arts. Favorite movie.
Bloodsport.
I'm trying to think of what I want. Mr. Miyagi.
Little Karate Kid. The Hilary Swank version.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I looked this up since we were talking about golf. I want to know what the lowest recorded score of all time was. It's 55.
Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah. It was on a par 71, so that's 16 under. No big deal. Yeah. Caller, who we got?
Hey, what's up, guys? Wyatt from Texas.
Hey,
Hey, Wyatt.
what's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on,
Hey,
guys?
what's your
Hey,
favorite? Hey, hold on. What's your favorite sports movie of all time?
sports movie of all time?
Yeah.
Oof.
No. Junction Boys.
Bottle Rocket.
Junction Boy?
Yeah, it was an ESPN movie starring Tom Berenger about Bear Bryant's Texas A&M days.
And surprisingly enough, the Colt hasn't let me see that one yet.
No, there you go.
So, yeah, there you go. Dude, probably is like Remember the Titans just like the number one, like everyone's favorite, or is that?
It's up
That
there.
was my favorite football. I think.
Any Given Sunday beat it out. Smashed it.
Yeah, that's true. Any Given Sunday is pretty good.
Because it's got LL Cool J doing coke off of titties.
I mean, who doesn't want to watch that over and over and over again?
Yeah. His head is like a shark fin.
Yes, I mean, absolutely. I mean, that's drunk actions for the next 10 years, what I can do from that movie. I mean, everyone gets it.
That's right.
Fine.
Yeah. Sound of mine, Wyatt.
Dude, how disappointed I guess I am more in my mind. Are we probably about to lose Laquan Treadwell and Trey Waynes, like 2 first-round draft picks that probably aren't even going to be on our team next year? Like,
It's so
How
weird when you phrase it like
disappointing is that?
you could have just led with the first round picks and not with the lose Laquan Treadwell and Trey Wayne. Like,
Yeah.
When you're like, oh, we could lose Laquan Treadwell, I'm like, well, that doesn't seem so
Is
bad.
Wayne, he'd really let Wayne's go?
What? Yeah, not this year, but like in free agency. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it might be over money. You got Hughes, you got Mack.
Yeah, like what the Vikings might want to pay Waynes to be a cornerback 2, someone else might want to pay him to be a cornerback 1. Maybe.
So who do you know off the top of your head who they could have drafted instead of Treadwell? I know this is not
Michael
fair.
Thomas.
Mike Thomas. No big deal.
Yeah, absolutely. Michael Thomas.
The guy I
that would've been
wanted them to
number
draft.
one.
Like, it's different than like saying, "Oh, here are the receivers that did better."
Yeah.
I advocated drafting Michael Thomas ahead of Treadwell.
We got the receipts on zonecoverage.com.
Right.
Oops.
Well, that was 2015 draft, right? Or was that the 2015 draft with
16.
Laquan Treadwell?
It was 16 with Treadwell. Yeah.
16 was Treadwell, yeah. And then Wayne's was before him, right?
Mhm.
The year before.
At number 11, yeah.
Yeah. See, the thing is, like, people forget about the Wayne pick because that was just a crazy good draft other than Wayne. Like, other than that was
a great
probably
draft.
our worst pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably one of the best drafts we've seen in 10 years for the Vikings.
Yeah, I
mean,
think
because
so.
that was what Trey Waynes, Daniil Hunter, Stephon Diggs, Eric Kendricks.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Question. Trivia question. Who was the wide receiver drafted in between Laquan Treadwell and Michael Thomas?
Ja.
Was it Josh Dotson?
No, he was ahead of Laquan.
Yeah.
Will Fuller?
Nope, ahead as well.
This should
In
be.
between.
I was kind of a fan of this guy's game.
Yeah. Sterling Shepard.
Yeah, New York Giants.
Sterling Shepard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Giants, man. Leave it to the Giants, too. Giants get Sterling Shepard and OBJ. And both kind of steals at where they got him, too, because OBJ was, 20-something where he was picked?
No, he was like 12.
Was he
OBJ?
12? I mean, I guess that's not really
Yeah,
a
he
steal.
was.
Well,
He was behind Mike Evans though, so people. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Texas A&M, obviously Evans is better. I understand why they picked him, but, probably should have won OBJ.
Right.
But, yeah, because that's what OBJ and Jarvis Landry on the same team, weren't they?
Yeah, at LSU. Yeah, with Mettenberger thrown to him.
They're still bad.
Right. Yeah, because that draft had Watkins and Evans as well as Odell Beckham. So Odell Beckham was the third receiver. Then Brandon Cooks was the fourth.
Right, and Sammy was number one of all of them.
Yeah.
Wow. Guy's been to the most teams. So what do y'all think? What do y'all think will happen with Trey Waynes? Let's say Trey Waynes has a good year. Trey Waynes plays like he played the last 5 to 6 games of last year. Then what?
If he
Like,
plays a full year like he played the final 6 games of this year, I think they will try to keep him, but it would be difficult. I don't know that
because
I don't know that it's actually going to be as difficult to keep a lot of these players as a lot of people think. Like, I think Waynes is probably the first to go if they have that problem. And it obviously depends on how sort of the other 3 players play this year. But if Waynes plays that well, I think they kind of reprioritize and try and figure out, what they can do to keep him. And I think it is possible based off of like some of the numbers I've seen.
So then would you think that he becomes the first one to get signed because he'd probably be easier to sign if he has a good year because his track record of having bad years would put leverage in the Vikings corner, saying that, hey, we'll go ahead and give you this now because you're playing so well.
Or he could bet on himself since his most recent tape was good.
That's true.
I mean, just look at what Janoris Jenkins got in free agency.
Right, yeah, that's true. Yeah, he probably could. And it doesn't help that Trey Waynes had a ridiculous combine. I mean, the reason we took him over Marcus Peters, God, that still hurts to say it. Just that we took Trey Waynes over Marcus Peters. Doesn't feel good.
Well, I mean, Chiefs got rid of Marcus Peters too, right? I was told that meant that Waynes ends up being the better draft pick.
They were worried about his character.
Right. Yeah,
that's right. Just put him in a room with the
What could he have done? I don't understand. How did the Chiefs walk on from Marcus Peters? Like, what are you doing? Like, is it because of the protest or something? Like, what on earth is going on where the Chiefs are like, don't need him?
No,
Like,
Andy Reid has a long history of only wanting choir boys in his locker room.
Clearly. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to take a side on the kneeling or the not kneeling thing, but I don't care what you're doing at that point and in your form of a protest, quote unquote. If you're playing at the level of Marcus Peters, you just find a way to turn a blind eye to it if you don't like it.
No, it was like a character issue, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like it's more likely a character issue than it is like a protest thing. but like I can't. It has to be something that hasn't leaked out yet, right? Because like, oh great, you threw the penalty flag, like whatever. Plus, I mean, given his history at like Washington and stuff like that, whatever. I think he's a premier player, so it's a very weird situation.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of his issues are being disagreeable with coaches, and that's always going to rub them the wrong way. Like that was his main issue in Washington, wasn't it?
Yeah, and there's that rumor that he tried to choke a coach.
Yeah,
which both the coach, he and his teammates, or I guess so, not both, but all parties involved and all potential witnesses have denied.
Yeah,
that,
he actually choked PJ Carlissimo. PJ's like, what did I do to deserve this?
I mean, I mean, this is obviously a fan perspective. You know, if I'm a coach, maybe I don't want to deal with him. But as a fan, what did they give up for Marcus Peters? Was it a second-round pick to get Marcus Peters?
It sounds
they didn't
right.
If you're giving up anything other than a first-round pick, I'm taking Marcus Peters on my team. Hell, I'm even okay with giving up a first-round pick for Marcus Peters. Like, that's a second-round pick for Marcus Peters, to have Marcus Peters and Xavier Rhodes on the same team. I mean,
it ended up being a pretty weird deal. So the Chiefs traded away Marcus Peters and a sixth-round pick and got in return a fourth-round pick and then not a second-round pick this year, but next year. So it was a weird deal, and he got super undervalued.
Right. I mean, 'cause that's what I'm saying. Like, would you do that trade? I would do that trade in a heartbeat. You say, hey, we'll send you, give us your fourth and second for 2 years down the line, and we'll send you Marcus Peters, and you can kick the can on Trey Waynes, I guess, now, because you have the better corner.
That's true.
And you have Marcus Peters and Xavier Rhodes. I mean, I don't know. I don't understand. Like you said, there's got to be something to where it's, what do we not know?
So I'm looking at what CBS has to say about it, and CBS says, so he got into a verbal spat with the coach prior to, so he had a suspension for a game for throwing the penalty flag into the stands, and I assume that suspension also includes kind of a bunch of other stuff behind the scenes. Argued with the coach, which coaches kind of just hate. And then you're right that apparently his decision to kneel really ticked off the owner a lot. And when it starts ticking off owners, like, then you're not making football decisions.
Right. And that's what and so I'd read something about, how it was, they didn't like that he was kneeling. I mean, that's up and down, whether you agree with it or don't agree with it, but you don't move a premier player, an elite. I mean, you could argue Marcus Peters is a top 5, top 10 corner, easy, top 10, easy, top 5, maybe. And you don't move him because you're like, oh, I don't like how you're protesting. Like, come on, man. Like, you can argue that maybe it's affecting your fan base one way or the other, but just as many people are for it as are against it. So it's how many, I don't know. The Chiefs just have me scratching my head with that in the free agency. I was like, what in the world would you send Marcus Peters away for a fourth-round draft pick next year? Like, what are you doing? You're not going to replace Marcus Peters. I mean, I don't know. I just think that's just wild to me. But anyways, guys, I'm heading to the gym, so I'll give you a holler next week.
All right, get some. Thanks, Wyatt.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
All right, my favorite martial arts movie, Warrior.
You're going to have to refresh my memory.
Tom Hardy, Joel Edgerton, Nick Nolte got an Academy Award nomination for it, Best Supporting Actor. Essentially what it is a big UFC tournament, or not UFC, a big MMA tournament. They didn't use the brand names, but yeah, and it ends up with
Nick Nolte.
Edgerton and Hardy are brothers, end up fighting in the final. Blah, blah, blah. It's actually really good.
Spoilers, Jesus,
yeah.
man.
Yeah. So there you go.
Mortal Kombat, my favorite.
Yeah. That movie is so watchable, man.
So no one ever died.
It's tough.
Yeah. Couple questions from the Twitter machines. At Goble Like Noble, you all discussed Linval Joseph last week and how he was given an expanded role upon arriving in Minnesota. Who is another player in the league that would benefit from a similar transition? Pick one for the Vikings and one for league-wide.
I honestly have no idea what he's talking about. What did we say about Linval?
Linval going from his role to the Giants to what he's doing now with the Vikings and just
Thriving
blossoming.
in a bigger role.
Yeah. Even though he doesn't have a ring yet here.
Right, yeah. So, who's to say?
Teddy Bridgewater.
David Perry.
Starter.
David Perry. Let's see. So we have to pick one player that's currently on the Vikings that might thrive somewhere else in a different role?
Sure.
and then one maybe the opposite.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it'd be easy to say Mackenzie Alexander, right?
Yep.
Where he played a lot of outside, and is much better as a man coverage corner. Whereas with the Vikings, he has to play a mix. So if he could go to a system that plays sort of a blitz-heavy man coverage style defense, maybe the Browns, although
Greg Williams.
Yeah, right. That would probably suit him a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it seems like they need a more versatile corner than they've gotten out of him. So he'd probably be a pretty good example of somebody who thrives.
Candidate that's already gone out the door, McKinnon.
Yeah.
That actually Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, we'll see how true that ends up being.
Any chance Laquan Treadwell
I
goes somewhere
can't
else?
see a system that
We need a system
makes
that
him better
requires
than he was.
very little separation from the receivers.
Right. So Carolina.
Actually, no. What if he went to Baltimore? He'd be the best wide receiver on their team.
Don't they've got? They just got a guy, didn't they?
They're bad.
Let's see. Yeah, they just got Crabtree and John Brown. But Michael Crabtree, he's pretty good.
Crabtree. Ass guy.
Otherwise, yeah, they've got Willie Snead and Brashad Perriman and
Ask Richard Sherman.
something named Tim White.
What do you think's of Crabtree? Please.
Yeah.
Do you ever test? All right. So which player from like around the league would do better with the Vikings?
Khalil Mack would do
Teddy
just fine here.
Bridgewater. Starter. Get Kirk Cousins out the book.
Non-former Vikings edition. Who would thrive here that hasn't thrived where they were?
Khalil Mack.
Yeah, I mean Khalil Mack, clearly a scrub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just stepping up Khalil Mack. Sounds are tough.
It is because I don't
have to
have
think
the
of the
same
defense.
familiarity
Like,
with
what
everybody else.
I'm trying to think with the
Keith
Vikings.
Tandy, backup safety for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Wow. I like that poll.
I had to
Was he on Hard
see
Knocks?
if I could find under the radar free agents for a piece I did for Zone Coverage a while back, and he almost came up, except they signed him to a long-term extension right before I was about to publish. So he just kind of sticks in my head as somebody who's actually really good, but hasn't had a bunch of opportunities. So let's go there.
Justin K_4. Do you guys remember much about former Gophers quarterback Chris Streveler? He'll be starting this week in the CFL for Winnipeg, and I'm not sure what to expect.
I remember the name.
Streveler, bad.
Yeah. I remember he wasn't that good. Was he?
But he thrived once he transferred.
Was he in the mix with Leidner?
I think so.
Early
It was
on,
like
it was
a
like
mobile
those two.
quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played for South Dakota State with I think Weineke and Goddard. I think they're all on the same team.
I like that this dude knows who's starting for Winnipeg.
Yeah.
I got a tweet about it. Someone asked me about
Hey.
Streveler because of the upcoming Winnipeg start.
You want to go up and see him?
Yeah, we should make it a trip.
Yeah, Zone Coverage does Winnipeg.
Do you guys remember Drew Tate from Iowa?
Nope.
So apparently he's been starting for the Stampeders and the Red Blacks.
Really?
Remember to capitalize Red Blacks. 'Cause all caps.
Yeah. Apparently he's been doing pretty good.
Sure.
So there you go. Yeah. Mike Dorrell, what candy bar would you pick if you could only eat one for the rest of your life?
Snickers, but man, I'd miss Reese's.
Does Reese's count as a candy bar?
Oh, good question.
Because
How
I'm
about
picking
just
that
one candy item?
Yeah, I'm picking Reese's.
It's my number 2, but I gotta go Snickers.
Number one with a bullet.
I don't really like candy anymore.
Really? You don't
He's on
see
this
Halloween candy?
In diet.
Well,
man.
I was never really big into sweets as a kid.
This happens a lot to people. My
Except-
brother quit pop and now he hates it.
Really?
Yeah.
Except for that Reese's story from D2. Maybe that's what ruined it for me. The whole waiting thing. I would probably go Starburst if it's just
Yeah.
candy in general.
That was my brother's choice.
That's a good one.
Yeah. At the Real Forno, list of his top sports movies. So let's tear this apart. Number 1, D2.
There you go.
Number 2, Rocky. 3, Friday Night Lights. 4, The Mighty Ducks. 5, Rocky 4. He's very niched. The whole
Niched?
Yeah, I like
fighting
it.
hockey movies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. From Deese 1511, opinion on Holton Hill. Keep hearing that he's going to make the 53, but I've yet to hear where fifth cornerback also has a 6th round guard looking at OTAs. Haven't heard much from Gossett, but we'll see more in camp. I mean, Hill, Quarterback 5. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Special
think
teams.
so. Hill has a really good shot to make the roster based off of the news we've heard. Watching his stuff at Texas, it was fine. Like it wasn't like a star cornerback. Like a lot of people were talking about this guy. Like, you know, he's the star cornerback. He just got into a bunch of like suspension trouble because of a weed habit that forced him to go to rehab.
Yeah.
But he's really amazing, and it's not. I don't think it's the same as like the Antonio Callaway situation. I think it's he's really young, pretty athletic, and played like an average corner. But when you combine kind of all three of those things together, you can get a lot of value in undrafted free agency. So I would say that his tape is not something that I've ever been super excited about, but definitely should have been drafted. And it sounds like the Vikings are treating him as if they did draft him.
Have you ever played Baylor on weed?
Hey, yo.
How come weed is like, you know, people do have serious dependency on weed, but it's still like open season for like jokes and stuff. Because like if someone's like,
Well, because it's not chemically addictive. Like the addictiveness
Yeah, it's
comes
a
from like a
habitual.
psychosomatic.
as opposed to like
reaction.
opioids or even like
Right, yeah. And
alcohol
so
to a degree.
a lot of people just never develop.
Yeah.
Most people just never develop that addiction, and so it's super funny to like make fun of it when it happens. But I mean, it happens.
From Candace Hare, friend of the program. Do you think Xavier Rhodes, Trey Waynes will have to play as many snaps last year, or will they get some relief on that front of the season?
No, I think they'll play the full gamut of snaps, and it has nothing to do with like relief or not relief. It's just a position where you play all the snaps.
Well, Xavier didn't play that one Alshon out and up play against the Eagles. That didn't turn out well.
Yeah, well,
What was it, 3rd and 12? No big deal. Yeah, but we still want Newman back. It's okay. At Library Ben, 2 ideas to get a little production from a couple high-enders that weren't expecting much this year. Number 1, O'Neal as tight end jumbo packages. 2, Treadwell as Joker tight end. Thoughts?
I don't think either of those things are really happening all that much.
Yep.
They threw a couple of passes to O'Neal, I think, just to do it.
Yeah. Just
See if they could.
just to throw people off the scent of things.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But tight end, Treadwell's a de facto Joker tight end. Basically just line up in the slot. Sure.
What does that look like that makes it different than looking like a slot receiver?
None.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I don't know why we're saying it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've always been a fan of the big slot ever since just watching Larry operate.
Watching Calvin do it, too, when they finally put Calvin in the slot and it just wrecked people for a while, that was great.
Yeah. And Titus Young's on the outside. It's like, what? Yeah, speaking of issues, like, didn't he get arrested like 3 times in a week?
In like a week, yeah. Yeah.
That's rough. Yeah. I mean, there's a pretty thick line between guys just doing stupid stuff and like legit mental illness. And then Titus Young
he
is the
clearly,
latter.
like his
Yeah.
dad came out and was like, yeah, he's got problems. He's got
Yeah.
a severe mental disorder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the Big Herman, reading tweets from camp, Treadwell seems to be generally having a good mini camp. It's not even forced slow-mo.
Hall
hype
of
either.
Fame career starts now.
I can't distinguish between Buzz, which I think he meant to say Mobo, and then his autocorrect changed it to slow.
Oh. Yeah.
I can't.
It also fits, even though he's pretty fast.
Right. I can't really distinguish between like genuine minicamp buzz, fake minicamp buzz, and the type of minicamp buzz that doesn't translate once you put pads on.
Yep.
So I'm just going to take it all with a grain of salt. Remind people that Stephen Burton was killing it in OTAs for a while, for like 2 straight years. Barely got on the field. Yeah, I mean, people really liked. What is his name? The Florida State 6'5" receiver,
Rodney Smith.
Rodney Smith, yeah. Who cares? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not saying that this isn't meaningful. I'm saying that there's just not enough information yet to determine if, after the fact, this will have turned out to be meaningful.
Which, random, I had a Rodney Smith incident today where there's
Today?
Yeah,
How could you possibly?
Well, hold on. It comes full circle.
He's living his best
There's
life.
a guy who's mowing lawns for the elderly and veterans and like single moms, and he wants to mow a lawn in every state. It's cool. The guy's name is Rodney Smith Jr. So I'm like, oh, is that Rodney? Because I mean, he looks like a relatively tall, in shape black guy. I was like, maybe Rodney got into that. So I had to look. It is not him. With a super common name, it's like, yeah, all right.
I mean, it's a common name in the NFL.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Although, many kids named Rodney anymore.
You don't, but
Yeah.
I mean, like the fact that I've seen like 3 or 4 NFL prospects named Rod or Rodney Smith over the past like 5 years, like makes me think, maybe it's just not my part of the country.
Yeah, Rod Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in the day.
There's like a Gophers running back named Rodney Smith.
Yeah, wasn't he supposed to be good and then not?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Also, you don't meet many like young girls named Stacy anymore, even though Stacy was a monster name.
It's true.
That was a very popular name.
Stacy's mom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, it's weird that there's gonna be grandpas.
Thanks, Tom.
That was bad singing.
It's gonna be weird that there's gonna be grandpas named Jason.
Yeah.
That's weird. I don't think that's weird.
I think it's a little weird. I think it's a relatively new age name. Or Grandma Stacy, I guess we can throw in there too.
That to me is weird.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
If it's Stacy, she's gonna be Grandma 36.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's rough. It's a rough go of things. The Big Herman, what about Saxy Prince? Don't tell me you already killed off the... Oh, what happened to Saxy? Don't tell me you already killed off fan favorite. Well, that's...
Fan favorite.
Wow. Escalating
Jesus.
talent.
Well, he says fan.
Well, now he's
Singular.
never getting on the show again.
Yeah. At Old Dusty Trail, which Vikings not in the top 100 list make the list next year? Oh.
Who made the top 100 list?
Teddy Bridgewater.
All right, so Thielen, Hunter...
I'm just
No,
gonna.
not Hunter. Actually, I think Hunter will make it next
That would
year.
be probably the best example.
Yeah. Linval made it. Xavier, Diggs, Thielen.
Oh yeah, Linval made it.
Yeah. I bet you Dalvin makes it.
That's a good pick. I'm gonna go with Neil Hunter, but Dalvin's a really good pick.
Yeah. Daniil and Dalvin. Book it. Boom. At Deese1511, is Ben Gideon still on the team? I think I've heard about every Viking defender, vet, and rookie alike this offseason, but not a squeak about Ben G.
Ben G.
Apparently he's still there.
I mean, what's there to say about him?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing about OTAs. Like, linebackers don't really do much, except for if they get pick and coverage or something.
Right. Especially, I was about to say that. Especially if he's not a coverage linebacker and is only there in the, what I guess we're going to call it the base sub package, the 4-3 sub package. If he's only there in run stopping packages, what's he going to do at OTAs?
Yeah. Although Gideon does look like if you're making full circle, making a football movie and you need a linebacker, you cast a guy like Ben Gideon
Actually, I might cast Daniil Hunter
as the linebacker.
Yeah, even though he's not.
Sure. Yeah.
Just because he looks maybe what you'd expect a linebacker to look. You might even be able to cast Tyron Smith. He looks like a linebacker.
Yeah.
Little bit.
Did you see the Strib picture of Daniil from this morning?
No.
Where he's just he's got his arms rolled up or his sleeves rolled up per usual and just looks like ripped as hell. Like he looks
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And also like Garrett Dooley's in like the background. It's just like, you versus the guy she told you not to be worried about.
Oh, I see. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm 100% casting Daniil as my linebacker.
It's like Daniil got even more in shape. I don't know what happened. Did you see the Snapchat
His
picture?
veins are like popping out. That's wild.
Did you see the Snapchat picture of Amari Cooper looking thick?
Yeah.
Not like thick, but like
Amari Cooper defensive
stacked.
end. Yeah.
Apparently it was one of those camera tricks because apparently he's not like that small.
Yeah, I guess. The picture of fat Kelvin Benjamin was also apparently a camera trick. He was never, quote unquote, as fat as he looked.
Yeah.
Although weight was a problem.
Also, Eddie Lacy, that famous pic, where he looked like
when you get an
Bigfoot
already
looking back.
when you get an already big guy that is overweight for his position, getting a bad camera angle.
Or did you see the picture of Zeke and Dak in the sex shop? And Zeke looks pretty.
No.
Yeah,
I think you shared this on Twitter, didn't you?
Yeah, no, there's a picture of like Dak getting a price check on a dildo. It's pretty straightforward.
All right, yeah.
All right, last one is from Purple People Tweeter. Then we're going to get some chicken and do it.
Yeah.
Going around the room, I remember the Titans. Where would Zim, Denzel Washington at Gettysburg, take the team on a spiritual journey?
His thing in Kentucky.
Zimmerland Ranch.
Yeah.
Yes.
Eat some well-done steaks and some Domino's as Bud Light.
Yeah. That's where you find yourself.
Where will you take him? Oh, I bet you take him to like his dad's, where his dad coached high school football in Illinois.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Talk about this hollow ground. Back when you loved the game. Get that love back.
I like the idea of like Zim getting the idea that he needs to take them on a spiritual journey, but he like doesn't know what that would look like, so he just kind of drops them off in the forest and drives away, hoping that they'll make it back and learn something along the way.
It's like, guys, it's someone's backyard. Get out of it.
What do you think is Zimmer's favorite restaurant?
Murray's?
No, the steak's probably
Yeah.
too soft.
It's gonna be no. It's gonna be like Famous Dave's.
Oh, there's a place in St. Paul. It's kind of close to McAllister where they specialize in charring your food. So that place, yeah.
Can you see Big Daddy's? You know Big
Is
Daddy's?
that Mancini's?
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. What about chains wise? Like Famous Dave's sound.
That's a good one. Yeah.
There's a
Texas Roadhouse.
Nice.
there's like a Midwest
Golden Corral.
Golden Corral, good call.
Like, I get your value out of
Casey's
Right?
Pizza.
Yeah. You can get a steak at Golden Corral.
it. Casey's Pizza is legit.
It is legit.
Especially their taco pizza.
What is the one you go to? Which one's close to you?
For what?
For Casey's, because they tend to be outstate.
Oh no! Like we lived in Iowa for like a year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there. Speaking of Iowa, so there's like this small regional like barbecue place called Rib Crib.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be right up Zimmer's alley.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's a place where it has to have goofy stuff on the walls and also like just like a model train that goes around.
Completely. No, completely.
Yeah. Also, did you guys see that there's a sushi train place now in the cities?
Huh.
Yeah, the conveyor belt thing.
Oh, cool. No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Did not know that, but I will have that.
Yeah. Zone coverage company outing. Hello.
Yeah, let's do it. Write it
Yeah.
off. Just.
Do it a week where Luke's not here.
I know. I had to jump in.
Yeah. All right, Arif, what are you working on this week?
I'll take a look at Dalvin Cook and kind of what you might expect from him in the 2018 season.
Delightfulness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tom, what's going on zonecoverage.com?
Yes, a lot of Twins coverage. Still doing Vikes. You can find Sam Extra's doing a lot of good reporting there. And then Dane Moore starting a new podcast, Dane Moore NBA show. Still covered some Timberwolves stuff, and we should be headed to Summer League. So got everything covered, especially the.
Oh, people are going to Summer League this year?
Yeah, well, I mean it's a good place to see a lot of different people from the NBA, and we'll get all their perspectives on that podcast.
Yep.
On the Minnesota Timberwolves.
All right, so you're not sending Dane to Las Vegas?
Yeah, we are.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, Dane and
go?
I are going.
Oh.
Sure, jump aboard.
No.
Reef, you want to go?
I'm already there, man.
Oh yeah.
We only fly Delta. We don't fly Spirit. We're too hoity-toity for that.
You got Sun Country.
I like Sun Country.
Sun Country's all right.
No one likes Sun Country. Listen to Hour 1. Show's available on iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, zonecoverage.com/machine. But for Arif and Tom and no one else, I'm Andy saying, bye. Listen to Hour 1.